எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். எப்படி இருக்கீங்க? உண்மையிலே ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு to be here at HRaja College. Firstly, wishing you all a very happy Independence Day. When we talk about independence, we talk about freedom. When we talk about freedom, one emotion that we relate with freedom is fearlessness. Fearlessness of the mind, fearlessness of the body, fearlessness of our surroundings. I'm very happy that this is the second year the Stay Fearless show has been taken up on this day. It's also wonderful to see the amazing talent on stage. I mean, these kids were phenomenal. The kind of talent they have, the guts and the confidence with which they are talking about issues. Some of the more very inspiring women we had sharing their journey and inspiring all of you all. Mr. Pradeep Phillips, the IPS officer who talked about Friends of Police. I think it's lovely that we are opening out and talking about real world issues. I remember 10-15 years back, and I want to tell you this, when students would be in the 10th standard or 12th standard or final year of engineering, it would be a practice. Parents would tell the kids, you lock yourself in the house, you just study, you don't have to worry about what's happening anywhere. I used to always wonder, what is the point of creating future citizens who are scoring great marks, but they don't know whether a neighbor needs help, whether somebody is dying in the neighborhood? What is the point of having citizens? Today I'm so proud that today's generation, they know that the essence is a balance. One aspect is chasing your dreams and focusing on that. Another aspect is to be involved in your surroundings, in your ecosystem, because it directly or indirectly is going to affect you. So very happy that we are talking about real issues today. Very recently, I know this happened, it came in the newspapers and it's all over the TV. We heard about a case where an 11-year-old kid who was hearing impaired had been assaulted, abused over a period of 7 months by 23 people in a building complex. What shocked the entire Chennai and everyone was the people who were supposed to be protecting her were actually the perpetrators of that crime. Which brought one question to everyone's mind. Which place is actually safe in our country, in our city? This is a question that repeatedly we are asking. We know earlier this year, you know what happened with Asifa in Kashmir, and immediately the government passed a law where anybody below 12, if a crime of this sort is committed, the culprit is going to get punishment, which is going to be hanging, or it's going to be a death penalty. So these reactive measures are taken, but the question again is about law enforcement. So obviously as citizens, because I was part of a rally where we were lobbying with the government, we were requesting them to give fast justice, because justice delayed is justice denied. So obviously the judicial, the administrative, the political machinery have to come together to enforce that law, to implement that law. Now that is one aspect of it all. But more than that, we've got to think really deeper. I don't see anything wrong in that at all. So I was mentioning that when crimes like these happen, the reactive measures take place, and we need to put a law in place where rigorous punishment is given, because it sets a precedent, it sets a fear to any future perpetrators of the crime. But we need to address this issue more deeply. We need some proactive measures. So when I looked into this, I realized that 99% of child abuse cases, sexual assault cases in women are not addressed, are not reported. The reason being, in our society, there's still a conditioning that if a woman talks openly about this to anyone, she is going to feel disrespected. The taboo is going to be on her. In fact, it was a very sad case. In the same case involved, the girl's mother, people were saying, what was the mother doing? But think about it yourself. Will any mother, knowing about this, not take action? So obviously it is a case that the mother doesn't know. Why? Because that poor child who is small has been conditioned to think that it's not good to talk about it. I think some kids came here and they talked about being in a judgmental society. That's absolutely true. I think today kids are in a society where they are judged all the time. Are they short? Are they tall? Are they fat? Are they thin? What kind of marks? What clothes they are wearing? So you tell me, with this kind of a judgmental society around, it instills fear in a child to openly share about this problem. And I think we need to create an ecosystem where children have the guts, they feel comfortable talking about things that happen to them even outside the home. I want to tell you now about a personal story of mine, because only then I guess you can relate what I'm talking. So my wife Nisha, I don't know if you all know about this, she recently spoke about this. So she grew up with a single parent, her mom, and she had a stepfather. And between the ages of 10 to 19, when her mom was not around, she was subjected to a kind of physical abuse. She, as a small 10-year-old, was conditioned to believe that her mom knew about this, while her mom had absolutely no idea. Let me tell you, this is the psychology of a kid, all right? So she kept it to herself all these years. She didn't even share it with her friends because the fear of being judged was there. Years later, when we became best friends and she realized that I'm not going to judge her for this, she shared this story with me. And I told her that I see you as a fighter, I see you somebody who's come out, because she came out of that place, she started living alone, she made a career, she really succeeded, and she's an empowered woman today. So I told her that when the opportunity comes, you must talk about this, because there are 90% of the women outside are suffering, not even women, small kids I'm saying, day in and day out, and they feel scared to talk about this. And she spoke about this recently, and so many women, so many kids came out and said, 20 years back this happened to me, 15 years back this happened to me, an uncle did this to me, a neighbor did this to me. So it's happening all around us. We need to give them the belief system that, hey, we are there for you. We are not going to judge you. Please come to me, share your story with me. I want to stand up for you. So I think this conditioning has to change. Only then most of these cases will know, because I'm telling you this, we need to get out of our comfort zone, get into the lives of others. We need to ask them, what's happening with you? Are you okay? I think Mr. Pradeep Phillips said a very important point. We cannot depend only on the police or blame them to enforce law all the time. We have to be vigilante citizens. We have to keep an eye around our building, around our colony, where what is right, what is wrong. We've got to teach kids what is a right touch, what is a wrong touch. We've got to give them that space where they can openly and courageously talk about things that are happening to them. I really feel this from the bottom of my heart, and it's lovely to see so many people coming out and discussing this issue today, because this issue is not taboo. It should not be taboo. I think if a child or a woman has undergone this in her life, she should be able to come and talk to her friends, her family members, and tell them, and they should be able to help them without judging them about what it is that they need to do. So this is one thing I strongly really feel about. Another thing that always I think about is our education system. Yes, we stress upon good marks, academics. But I remember as a kid, something that my mother had told me is, the true beauty of a man is his character, and the true beauty of a woman is her compassion. I don't know, it struck a chord inside me. I said, this is something I must inculcate and make a part of my value system. Day in and day out, I believed in it. It was like oxygen, it was like a breath of air for me. And I think today, if we have men, if we are creating men who are well-groomed, well-educated, earning a good salary, but in their interiority of character, they are missing out on this aspect, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't want chauvinistic men who are just going to be dominating. I think that's why character-centric education is very important. Not only in educational institutes, I think as parents also, it's very important to inculcate the boys how to be around with women, how to treat them, what's a wrong touch, what's a right touch, what's the limit. I think we need to talk about all these things. So again, once again, very happy School of Success that you've invited me. It's really amazing, venue here, and so many kids talking their heart out. I think a kid, one of the girls talked about the time that she wants to go out at 6 in the evening. Why restricting me? Why are you judging me on the clothes that I wear? And I think as a man, I want to ensure that women around me at least feel safe. I think each one of us has to proactively initiate that, I think, and it will start somewhere, it will bring some change into the society. And most importantly, let's at least start by talking about this to the people around us who don't have people to talk about it. If you see somebody who's hesitating, somebody in your colony, a little kid, a little girl who's scared, who wants somebody to talk, give her that compassion, give her that comfort that she opens out to you. So let's all be fearless ambassadors, and let's create a future where our kids, our women are totally fearless in the real sense. Let's be fearless.